probably edit the audio out if I ever get to the point here, because what are we at? 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So, okay, my working hypothesis, I propose we're going to remove all of outside forces, no magic, no gods, and no religion, and, what was the other one? No magic, no gods, and no aliens. We're just going to be here all by ourselves on planet Earth. 64,000 years ago, I believe, we used a bow and arrow. The Neanderthals, I think, may have invented the bow and arrow, who knows, or the human beings, but together, I believe the human beings and the Neanderthals coexisted. Yes. And then it's not pretty. Someone rewrote history. It's kind of like that episode of Distant Origins for Star Trek. You and everyone else on the planet Earth and everything, you all have your own version of the doctrine of the, whatever, dinosaurs. I am proposing that there is a real true history, like Chakotay's speech, where he's going about, hey, you climbed up through the rough parts and you made it and you evolved and you discovered this and that and then you survived and da-da-da-da-da. That's what I'm saying. That kind of speech. But everyone online, and I mean all your little COINTEL gurus pretended to be gurus. Oh, and there's some nasty ones. Can I mention names? Because I'll fucking rat every one of them out and I'll tell you everything they've done. And there's no denying it, because I got the verifiable facts. And nobody can counter my shit. And I have evidence from their emails and communications or anything else, I don't care. They've known for years. And they haven't told any of you or done a goddamn thing with that knowledge. All your gurus. Oh, there's one that just suckers in millions and millions of fucking dollars from all you people. And he won't go anywhere near the Disc Guy Poll stuff. And I called him 2 years ago. He made a joke video the next day after I called his show, saying, look, I put on a little show. Oh my God, you're leading your viewers off a cliff. What are you doing, man? You've had this information here. Take this, this, and this. Oh, coincidentally, the week before my motel, the last place I was living, burned down, I made a lot of phone calls. Tried to make a lot of phone calls to save my life or get some information out to some, like, really fucking high-profile people across the planet. And, called to that guy's show again. Informed him of all the other information. He still won't tell his viewers how to win. I told him how to do it. He won't tell any of his viewers. Just feeding off the fucking religious online people, giving them legal notice. So let's see, 64,000 years ago we had the bow and arrow. 70,000 years ago in Mount Toba we coexisted with the Neanderthals. Maybe even, who was it? Heidelbergensis died out. Oh, there's two others. There's two other species. I have it on my iPad right now, but I can't look. There's two other species. One of them died out 17,000 years ago. The other one, like 29,000 years ago. Or something like that. And, the real history is not pretty. We, apparently, a lot of, Homo sapiens went around raping, murdering. We're a pretty brutal species. You just have to get over it. You have a beast in you. You have a divine side and a bestial side. And the whole point is to, what is it? I believe it's the, put the left foot on the snake. The left foot down on the beast. Is that how it's done? Left foot forward. You control that. I learned all about my beast and how to control it after that little girl that I knew and walked home when I was, prepubescent. She was raped and murdered, put in a lake with a big brick on her, and then they never found her for a few weeks. And hey, it was one of the guys that was in my class. Actually, his brother was in my class. I hung around him the summer before, and I thought he was kind of fucking weird, and I didn't want to hang around him anymore after that. Him and one of his friends murdered this girl. But anyways, so we're a savage species. I learned how to step on the snake a long, long time ago. But anyways, So what happens here is we're primates and we're living on the planet Earth, and through the menstrual cycle of the human female, which is tied in with the moon, min, moon, mens, mons. The menstrual cycle is tied with the lunar cycle. And so some members of our species worshipped the goddess, and they knocked off little notches on a stick to mark off like when the next 28 days was coming. Oh, insert early man jokes about marking off the next 28 days when you're going to get in shit. Aside from that, then from there was solar time. Then it was noticed that the female and the male were tied with the planets and the earth, the sun and the moon and the earth. I meant the heavenly bodies, sun and moon, when I said the planets. I meant to say that heavenly bodies, like the moon and the earth and the sun. So the male was the sun and the female is the moon, because her menstrual cycle is tied with the moon. And let's see, there was all kinds of knowledge that mankind started learning. A primate learning in its three-dimensional environment how to think and stalk prey and out-maneuver any predators or nature itself trying to screw you around, because it's not easy to survive, and to make it this far. And, lots of species on Earth are extinct, and someone realizes that, and people realize that they could breed animals, and that they could herd the, cattle and goat, and the cattle was very, very sacred to mankind, because it was a fascinating, magical thing. And so things like the processes of electricity and the flowing of energy and water and the electromagnetic forces were understood by early man before the words were even in existence. Sciences were created and worked on and developed before there was names for these sciences or anything like that. And then things kept on progressing. Let's see, then ancient Greece came along after, Sumeria came along, and there's where they created the administration, the forms of government, which are still being used today. Somebody kept the records. That's what I'm saying. This is my little hypothesis for my, reworking of mankind's history. And so those records didn't go anywhere. I'm suggesting that, somebody got together before Greece and before Latinum or Latium or whatever it is, when they spoke the Latin language, and I'm suggesting that they began to rewrite or create a history for mankind, because we come from a savage beginning, and they didn't want us maybe to know that we slaughtered. Maybe some of the things exist in mythology. I just bought a few books. So we slaughtered the Neanderthals and the other species or two. Their names, they slipped my mind. We slaughtered them and the other guys. Or they just died out. Or we interbred, we raped them, and pillaged and plundered. And so what, you got like apparently 4% DNA in all the European kind of people and all that. Or something. So yeah. And then the albino DNA. And wow, so you got albino Neanderthals with like empty, dead, kind of Nazi blue eyes. Not that I got a problem. There's blue eyes that are very deep and soulful, and all kinds of different colors of eyes. But I've noticed that a lot of politicians and a lot of people seem to have some like extra Viking DNA, Neanderthal bloodline stuff going on. And they all got like albino hair and like the pastiest cottage cheese skin. And then dead fucking empty blue eyes, just like you'd see in like almost every single cop. And apparently it looks good on film for Hollywood or something. And I don't know what the fuck. So I don't know. A bloodline of mostly Neanderthal people or something wants revenge on mankind. Who knows? Some kind of crazy shit. Or it's just a bunch of monkeys from all different creeds, colors. That's more likely, and that's really the truth. That they come from everywhere. They're all just members of the same species. So yeah, back to we learned how to husbandry with cattle, animal husbandry, plant husbandry, and then they just moved into people. That's all I'm saying. They knew how to control and breed animals and to form different types of animals, so the process of evolution was understood a long fucking time ago before Darwin. How the fuck did you get corn from teosynth? Is that how it's pronounced? I don't know. I'm still a new guy at the entire history and knowledge of mankind, which is like percolating in my neural cortex. Whatever that is, that makes sense. I don't know. In my head. How's that? Does that sound better? Let's talk to the people. And so, yeah, we made corn, and then we made bananas with seedless long bananas. And the ba. What does ba mean? I don't know. You got your ka and your ba from Egypt, and then after that, some other culture that stole everybody's shit makes up something called the ka ba, and then another culture that steals stuff, or somebody else stole stuff and converted it, got the ka ba and Allah, and the ka ba is all law. How's that? Or all law is supreme. Oops. Well, I guess somebody did a little slip. Santa Claus, St. Nicholas. So then they went into breeding humans. And then somebody, apparently Enki created languages for his slaves. So that's what I am suggesting. That with the discovery of, through this Isisian code from Dennis Fetcho, the work of Truth Heresy 3, the work of, let me go through the list, the work of Dennis Fetcho, Truth Heresy 3, Dr. Francesca Stavrakopoulou, Professor Christine Hayes. Oh, geez, if I pulled out my citations and references, it's just pages and pages and pages long. I got 2 books. We got one from Ashrayara, is that her name? D.M. Murdoch. And her books are mocked. Yet there's another one by a guy, I believe his name is Thomas Harper in Canada. Writes a book about the same kind of subject, same kind of references, same kind of citations, And it's academically considered, Although I don't agree, everybody says, because the critics, can't let that the lie's a lie. So, I don't know if this is true or not, but it provides some very compelling evidence. But then you go look at a review for the exact same shit said by, like, D.M. Murdoch, which everybody on the internet and everybody, the common people, that's for you. The other shit, academic class, not for you. The shit that they've already known for hundreds and hundreds of years, and you're just a fucking joke. Everybody, the rest of us, yeah, we get the D.M. Murdoch book. And then they be like, whoa, this is the fucking most ridiculous conspiracy theory bullshit I've ever heard. How anyone could take this serious, I have no idea. Meanwhile, back over to the other academic version. This is some very thought-provoking material with some repercussions that could affect the future history of mankind, blah, 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 blah. It's all very nice. Nobody goes and looks. So yeah, I am suggesting all languages are created. Nothing in the news is real. You shouldn't even pay attention. It's all legal hearsay. Anything you hear in the news is legal hearsay. You have no first-hand knowledge to anything. You cannot claim. I had an argument with some guy in a bar, and I won. But I'm like, whatever. It's like we're still in the dark ages. They told you that the earth was flat, and you had to accept it. Now guess what? You're told now that the earth is a sphere, and everybody's like, the earth is a sphere, shut the fuck up. You don't know how to prove it. You can't go to court tomorrow and prove that you know how the earth is round. You don't know what date it is. It's the 10th of August? No, it's not. I just say that because that's what you know, and that's what you expect. I don't know what date it is. I could use the Freemason date, I could use the Chinese date, I could use the Hebrew date, whatever. It's the year 6,000 something. Anytime you answer questions like this, they think you're delusional, but they just pretend because they know it's an inside joke. They don't know either. You can state that you know the sun's going to come up tomorrow and it's going to be coming up in a couple hours, but, you can't claim it's an absolute fact, this kind of shit. That kind of really twisted, it makes sense and it's logical and everything, but at a certain level, it gets to be really fucking twisted. It's really fucking, anybody that even plays this game, I think is fucking psychotic. I have to understand it because I have to see what has gone on and comprehend everything, but I don't consciously seek to like play this game and deceive people and fuck around and abuse them and try to dominate them with a little joke about, oh wow, oh, you think that there's an actual eclipse? No, buddy. The snake is going to eat the sun. That's what they're doing to you people. They mock the living fuck out of anything that's real and just can keep on convincing you to believe in your God. To believe in this. Wait, don't worry. Just keep on letting us get away with murder. I'm not doing it. The devil made me do it. And God's going to get me in the end. So you don't have to worry. Just sit back and let me spend your money. Everything's a fucking sham. The government's not legit. The banking system's not legit. And I don't propose to get rid of any of these things. No. What I propose is to try and understand them at their fundamental root. To understand the process of electricity, to understand the process of magnetism, to understand the process of oscillating energies, resonance, flow, sine waves. This is where the knowledge is at. The serpent sine wave, all of that. Your banking system, everything, your government system, built upon the structures of our earth and our universe, local, whatever. The birth certificate, you're giving birth, the woman sits in birth, the ship sits in birth, blah, 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 blah. All the same. Somebody's pulling a scam on everybody on the fucking planet, and they're trying to make you think it's fucking some kind of aliens or ghosts or some stupid fucking gods or demons. And demons are deities of the moon. They are the invisible tidal forces that you can't see, that our fucking ancestors as primates couldn't see, so they called them deities of the moon, mystical forces that they didn't understand. Now you fucking people 1,000 years later are thinking, oh, there's real demons coming out of hell. You're fucking idiots and you're delusional. And you never picked up a fucking history book to study any of this. You watch Fox, you watch fucking cartoons, you watch the news. Claim you know what's going on in the world when you got like a fucking zero clearance and you hear some shit on TV. You're up trying to tell everybody in the world, I know, man. So I say to some guy at a bar, do you know how to play? Do you know the earth is a sphere? Yeah. Can you prove it? I know what I know. Yeah, but you can't prove it, can you? I'm not trying to be an asshole. Sorry, buddy. I didn't know yesterday either, but I learned. And I can show you so that we can both know. So what else did they do? Oh yeah, they wanted to demonize the woman. So nobody, not one of your fucking truth gurus. I got a playlist on Kemet called Kemet with the guy Ashra Kwesi from like 7-8 years ago. Not one of your fucking gurus or anybody in any truth movement or any fucking Freeman stuff, whatever the fuck you think you are, not one will go near it. Ashra Kwesi's got a video. He explains about Adam and Eve and Isis and Osiris, or Shishak and the other, whatever. Those names confuse me. Shishak and somebody else. And I always forget the other one. And so they're eating from the tree. They were sharing fruit as equals, man and woman, from the tree of knowledge. Now this got taken from the people that invaded and crushed their culture and wanted to demonize women in their man-fucking cult and their woman-hating little cult. And so they wanted to take the knowledge away from you that you are a primate living on the planet Earth and that the female menstrual cycle is tied in with the moon and that you learned how to tell time from figuring that shit out. They wanted you to think that the woman was evil and tempted you with not giving you and sharing the fruit from the tree of knowledge of mankind and all that, but she was tempting you with fruit from the tree of knowledge, good and evil. It's a story made up to demonize the woman and to destroy your belief or an understanding that you are a primate and, having a natural understanding of the cycles and processes that your body is tied to. Your body's 70% water, the planet's 70% water. The woman's cycle is tied to the moon, the male body's tied to the sun. Holy fuck. Gold for the sun, silver for the moon. Does it all making sense? And they worship bulls back in the day. And they studied astronomy. And they charted and created the astrological signs. Okay? And they didn't lose that knowledge. They only faked it for the rest of you. They changed your belief into thinking that the luminaries and the planets that were gods, and they made you believe in gods outside of that. First they convinced you that the planets were gods, and then they shifted that into a belief in the fucking some place in your head where it doesn't exist. Comprende? Comprende? Capiche? All the while, they were studying astronomy and making charts. So I'm suggesting that in ancient Greece, for instance, they had a device called the Antikythera mechanism that's over 2,000 years old and has plans and gears and shit 1,500 years before Da Vinci. I'm suggesting that somebody came to the conclusion that that technology and the knowledge of such things was extremely valuable, and if they could convince you people to believe in ghosts and gods, and that a snake was going to meet the sun and it's not an eclipse, and that the earth was flat, they went around slaughtering you all until they bred mankind into believing in this fantasy that the earth was flat and that you were created by gods and that there was no such thing as you being tied to the planet. They took away and murdered anybody with knowledge of the stars and astronomy and medicine. And they kept all that knowledge to themselves. They destroyed all the cranes that they had to build all the fucking stuff in Egypt, and I believe they had bandsaws in Egypt. They may have even poured the concrete stones, the geopolymers, or something like that. So they didn't have to move them. They just poured the shit because they were chemists. Alchemistry. L is everywhere. Algebra. Not algebra. Vowels are interchangeable. L is a 90-degree angle. L is the 12th letter of the alphabet. James Cameron did a show about the tomb of Jesus, and I totally remember before anybody ever came out online. Guy Christopher I used to talk to before you all. This one stuck with me because I remember how there was a slave mentioned who was in a cave, and he was suffering his whole life, and he was a slave, and he carved in the walls of the cave, "Help me, L." That's the first time I learned about it, way before any YouTube even existed, I don't think. Maybe it did. No, it did at the time. It was brand new, maybe just a year or two old, I believe, in the James Cameron special. You know, the Tomb of Jesus with the little triangle doorway with the dot. Yep. Oh, then I got the computer chip. Holy cripes. The computer chip, the Temple of Horus in Edfu, Egypt, matching a computer chip from the 1980s. So the layout and the schematics of the Temple of Horus is exactly the same as a computer chip from the 1980s. So how the fuck is that possible? What another massive coincidence that is. So what is the only logical possible conclusions there? It's that the people who made the computer chip are maybe, you know, respecting Egypt and paying homage to fucking Horus and Imhotep and all that. And then you're like just going to you and be like, it's all about Hippocrates. Don't know what you're talking about. Don't know who this Imhotep is. Never heard of him. Ashraquesi? Never heard of him. Ancient Egypt? Don't know. Stuff carved on a rock that proves us all wrong? Never heard of it. You get what I'm saying here? Either that, or the Egyptians left the plans in the Temple of Horus to build a computer chip because they understood the fundamentals and processes of electricity and chemistry and things like that, but only in the rudimentary stages before they even had definitions and names. Maybe they went by different names. But then everything has been kept and hidden within all of the different languages. And everything was taken from the Hindu religion, I do believe, the generative, ordinative, and destructive forces, Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu, or Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And so where did that knowledge come from? It came from somewhere else. If you do some research, you'll find that somebody went around and spread this knowledge amongst all the different pockets of mankind, and then everybody started drawing S's and snakes on shit. And then they started all building stuff or whatever. But then somebody else came along and said, no, and fucking slaughtered all those people with that knowledge. And then went and hid it, you know, burned down the Library of Alexandria. We don't know where the notes are. Just like the apparent Hittites did. Apparently they may have raided and burned and destroyed and took all, like, emptied out their library and just moved somewhere else, but pretended that they got raided and destroyed and murdered. Maybe there was a little family scuffle or something else, but they broke off and they all took off, and somebody else, they kept this knowledge. But the thing is that you don't get, I guess. Take a look at all the leaders and everybody around the world. They all got the same banking system, they all got the same government system, they all wear the same fake solar pad suits. And you're telling me they aren't in the same club? And that they're enemies and fighting each other? How about it's all a fucking show called theater for the masses? It's just entertainment. It's still bread and circus. Want some more porn? Need something silly to watch? Want a cat video? So, does that about sum it up? No gods, no aliens, no fucking ghosts and goblins. Just primates and a devious fucking mind. And somebody trying to fuck you all over and live off of you like a parasite. And if you add any more of the different things that I've studied that I can't all include in this little packaged video right here and everything else, but I'm trying to put all together in a nice little project that has a pretty cool name, I think. I'm quite proud of it in a little way. There's something else like, I believe it was a Stanford, the rat. It's the rat thing. It's about these 3 rats or something. Rat number 3. You know, you get 3 rats together in a... I have to watch it again. I have to look at my notes because whatever. But you get the rat number 3 or something. Makes the other 2 rats work. We're the other 2 rats. The other rat, number 3, I think it is, learned how to fuck us around and sit on his ass. And mooch off of us. Oh, by the way, so then there's another article called Causation and the Logical Impossibility of a Divine Cause. When I post messages like that and then log out, those ones don't appear. As well as the ICC code, those messages totally disappear. If I post a message about the pi code, Satan, pi, and shit like that, most of the time when I log out, I don't see them. There might be the odd one that slips through, but anytime I've ever posted anything about the causation and logical impossibility of divine cause, that's when I suddenly don't hear from anybody anymore, and when I log out to check the message, I don't see it. But it takes a long time for me to log in and out. Should I click a fucking video here? Let's just do and see what happens. Watch. I'll click on the main page. Here, watch. Could I do it, actually? Let me see if I just refresh this. It might do it. Watch how long this takes, because I'm logged in. If I log out, instant, snap my fingers, it'll be playing right away. Okay, so there it played, and then it paused. Wait, is it still going? No, see, the timer froze, the computer's froze, the audio's gonna freeze. This is like 30 seconds to a minute, most times. Still waiting. Oh, there it goes. That was fast. That's because I only refreshed the page. Watch, okay, wait, I'll go back to the YouTube main page. You gotta see this. Watch how long it takes. Here, where's the light? Dim down, there we go. Totally don't want to bother looking at that. Yeah, this was like years ago I watched. See, it won't move. Watch, I'll click. Nothing. It won't move. It's gonna take a while. Every day. No shill goes through this. Instant, snap their fingers, no problem. 4 different laptops. Same shit. Don't matter what I do. Window's been reloaded. Look, not responding. Still, it's going to be frozen. Oh, wait. Did it move? There we go. Now I have control. There. That's the section I care about. The rest is just crap that keeps appearing. Here. This is Antikythera mechanism. Let's click on that. Watch. Ready? It's going to take a while. But if I log out, instant, it'd be playing right now. But there, it's going to be frozen. 0, 0. It's just going to sit there. Every time. You imagine trying to do any research? Watching 3 videos takes like fucking 2 hours. Oh, and there it started. There's light speed for you. Anyways, so are we about done? Did we get the point yet? What else? You know? So then now you got the woman is red, and the man is blue, and the colors of light are red and blue, and the police got the red and blue lights over their head on their cars because they're victims. And it says in the Bible's an allegorical book of law, science, astronomy, mathematics, biology, medicine. But it says, woe to you, O lawyers and Pharisees. Is that what it says? It struck me that that's their legal notice. That's the scorpion and the frog story. You're betraying your own kind, your own species, your own brothers and sisters and cousins, and you're being fed and fattened like cattle, and victims, and you're being pitted against your own kind, and you're being manipulated into being a buffer between really horrific kind of psychotic mass murdering criminal pedophile cult types and the rest of mankind who have been lied to by these people. And you're concealing information. You have taken the keys of knowledge and not entered in yourselves, and you hidden them and not entered therein yourselves. And so, woe to you, because your own masters are going to backstab you. They're going to double cross of Lorraine you. Anybody know what that one is? All the cops, all the lawyers. That's my favorite part of the plan. And when I kind of can explain it really good and told a couple people, I like the look of fear in their face. Because I talked to a couple little agent gatekeepers. She went back and told her masters, and then was like really fucking scared because kind of figured that I might be right and that they're gonna get shafted, and then they're gonna get left out with the rest of the people, and the people are probably gonna fucking eat your ass. That's if anybody survives. Who knows? I know that the wonderful people that have created all of this, totally not fucking worried, want to go hide away. Who knows what else is in store for mankind? I know that this information is extremely dangerous. I've been threatened in real life. People have come after me in real life in numerous towns. 3 of the groups of people I met online that you're all following around and licking their ass and worshiping them like gods are undercover fucking agents, and they're criminals. They have no fucking intentions of ever telling you the truth. I met them. They tried to rob me, fuck me around. A couple of them did rob me. One's in Ottawa. Stole some of my shit. And then, like, the guy's a fucking criminal. He's a loser. He doesn't bathe. He lives in the fucking backyard in a fucking hut. And he thinks he's like a free man, but he doesn't have the title. I had the title to my vehicle. It worked all for me. And then later they tried to shaft me when I wasn't there, and they committed fraud by putting tickets on a license that didn't exist. Yay. This guy had no title, tries the shit, they take all his fucking toys away and fucking punish him as a demoralization to the rest of you, and then they publicly announce it, then like some local newspaper calls him up. They don't call you up. They don't call you people up. All these people getting in the newspaper or getting a fucking interview or going on the CBC, they're fucking cops, they're fucking CSIS agents. They ain't real. They all know everything that I've been telling you for years. And they won't open their fucking mouths about any of it. Not one fucking thing I've mentioned. And I've only just gotten started. That's not even half of what I figured out. And all I'm doing is just writing. I got over 900 topics. There isn't an app that can handle my shit. This stuff's made for children. There are programs for big grown-up computers that can handle my shit. Like Scrivener's not bad. Personal Brain would be awesome, but oh god, it costs like $250 fucking dollars a year plus fucking $80 a month or some crazy shit like that. And then it's limited to like the fucking select few, and it could be available to all mankind. They're all wrapped up in legal battles and shit for fucking years before you can even use their product again. Wow. Totally a disappointment. Totally a fucking, everything's a scam. These apps can't, wow. I can't work with the text file on a fucking iPad, especially with a few of them, and to even see a couple of them, like in a fucking overview. Nope. Had to buy like a little cue card app where I can put like fucking shit on one page and another one with a whiteboard app, but they're all incompatible. It's all the fuck me totally. Whoever programs fucking shit and does Apple's design and figures stuff out, that gotta be the craziest fucking schizophrenic fragmented bullshit I've ever seen in my life. There's a supercomputer to figure out how to fuck shit up, to make it into a spaghetti code, to take something simple and to turn it into a giant fucking mess. That's how I think this company makes its fucking apps. There is no goddamn... I have compiled pictures from fucking 20 different apps, and I got the idea for like the perfect app. Or take this one called Stash that handles pictures, just pictures, and like allow people to not just put text files in there, but edit the fucking text file. Wow. Cut and paste a paragraph of fucking text from one text file to another. Not fucking possible. And to look at numerous text files, like say I want a row of 5 across and fucking 8 down. You can do that on this Stash one with pictures. Because I got like, different folders, the antikythera mechanism, the bull, the churches, the things, the this, the that, the assistant thing, this, different. All these pictures, all categorized, everything. Text files scattered all over the fucking place. Good luck trying to work on one on the iPad and then transfer it back to another device because the whole format's all fucked up. Wow, I have never seen anything like this in my life. And one last time, my HP pocket organizer and HP kissed my ass after I told them that their shit was better, in a way. But seriously, it's sitting in my truck, packed away in a box. It's 21 years old. I could pull it out, plug it in the battery, charge it up, turn it on. I could work on a Microsoft Word document, put 2 fucking columns. Holy shit, wow, what a fucking futuristic, amazing thing. And I can use handwriting technology, handwriting recognition. I can write just like I would on a piece of paper. Instantly recognizes it, no fucking problem. Can print it off in a text or a Microsoft Word document. Can't do any shit like that on this device. 21 years later. Technology is being held back. It is redundant. This is the time of Ben Aladdin, the third Sephiroth, I do believe, controlled by the planet Saturn, understanding in time and space. This is the time of Ben Aladdin, to hold back understanding in time and space, while the bad guys set their plans in place and just continuously fuck you around today, tomorrow, and the next day, and stall for time, and make themselves out to be the good guys. And oh look, we didn't create a sundial, call it a fucking religion to trick you. We didn't mathematics in 3-dimensional or 4-dimensional space and trick you into just thinking it's some kind of magic cube, and that a meteor is like the eye of fucking God, and that you gotta walk around this cube 7 times counterclockwise. Has nothing to do with the fact that the earth has 7 days in the week and fucking moves counterclockwise. Just a coincidence. All your holidays. When are all your holidays? So yeah, back to the final little bit here. Constantine, 325 AD, the Nicene Creed, that was for you people. You know what they were really doing? Making a new Easter date to match the calendars and the astronomical knowledge and everything that they had. And they created a new Easter date for you. And so Easter is like something astronomical, just like all the other holidays. And I believe the Jewish calendar, every single festival and Passover, and this all has to do with solar and lunar phenomena. Has fuck all to do with gods. Fuck all to do with anything else. Celebrations. It's spring. Let's have a fucking feast. It's winter. Stock up for food and hold your chestnuts in your little sacred fucking pouch. Keep warm during the ember months in September, October, November, December. Those are the ember months where you burn wood to stay fucking warm. Everybody cluing in yet? Have I given enough information for people to start figuring out the pieces of this giant puzzle that I've already figured out like a few years ago? Trying to hello, hi, can you hear me out there? Your agents and your fucking COINTEL gurus and your fucking little fake people trying to teach you goddamn every day about aliens till they mock the fuck out of you in an fucking Weird Al foil video. They're mocking the living shit right out of you. Because you just dishonored your own species by thinking you're not even capable of rubbing two sticks together that a fucking alien must have taught you. How dare you? Any of you. All of us. I was there. Get it yet? Have a nice day. Peace. Friendly things. Namaste, apparently me Satan or whatever like that. Jesus Christ, you can't do anything if you rearrange the letters. Anyways, yeah. Arrivederci. Ciao. Live long and prosper, break a leg, and all that jazz.